Okay, the mafia is back again to have another random topic. I'm trying to pick things more outside of the lines since a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've noticed people that I follow are tired of people talking about relationships and all that stuff. So thank God for Milk Jug Mafia because we really try to mix it up over here. But I actually got today's segment idea from TikTok because they were discussing unserious generational curses that they were breaking. And so I wanted to talk about some that are not really that serious and some that are maybe more controversial. So either way, major disclaimer, this is just my opinion, my perspective. This is just how I operate as an individual. Nothing I say has to be taken as fact or 100% truthful. It's just what I see. This is my truth. So it doesn't, I don't really care if anybody agrees with what I have to say. This is just my thoughts. So you can take what you want from it. But I actually made a TikTok in response to it. And the girl was like, what's an unserious generational curse you're breaking? And I was like, I didn't pierce my daughter's ears. A lot of my family asked me why I didn't pierce her ears. And I just was like, why the fuck does it matter so much? They're just earrings for a child. So it's just like, to me, it's more, I get white girl on it because I only saw white women saying this, but it's against her will. I'm not going to go get my daughter jabbed against her will and she doesn't even know what's going on. I don't even like, don't even get me started on the other topics, but I'm not going to take her against her will to get her ears pierced. And then on top of that, you have to clean your ears when they get pierced. You got to, make sure how is she going to be able to tell me that the back of the earring is on too tight and it's uncomfortable for her? Like she could be hollering crying just because her earrings are making her uncomfortable. And I would hardly know. I'd have to go down the list of things, reasons of why she might be crying. I'm not going to add earrings to the list of why a kid is mysteriously crying. I do what you want. I don't really care, but I refuse to pierce my daughter's ears until she says, "Hey, mom, I want earrings," and then it'll be her responsibility to learn how to take care of herself as far as that goes. And a lot of people, because some people ask me this too, so I'll answer it. A lot of people ask me what I would have done if her dad took her to get her ears pierced. I wouldn't have done anything because that's his child. I would have made him take care of them though. He would have been the one cleaning them. And I would have made him buy her real like silver or whatever, like whatever he bought would have had to have been real. I don't want no fake jewelry going on my child. If you're gonna do it right. But I digress. It wouldn't have made me mad if her dad did it, but nobody else could have gone behind my back and did it. That would have been like a whole different story. Um, Not breastfeeding. This is my major disclaimer. This is the Milk Jug Mafia page, so I'm a major advocate for breastfeeding. We are here for women's health, but like the whole reason I started this was because I was very passionate about breastfeeding. Not breastfeeding your child makes absolutely no sense to me logically because as women, we were built to reproduce. So naturally, your body makes this milk for this child. You are going out and spending money on milk that has less nutrients and vitamins and minerals for the child because you don't want to breastfeed. Like logically, that does not make sense to me. People that just skip over it altogether to start back drinking as soon as they have a kid, none of that stuff makes sense to me. Even if you just breastfeed for like the first 3 months, like you still gave your child something because that gold milk that comes out at the yielding is vital to their well-being. Like there is literally no excuse for why moms should not be breastfeeding at least the first 6 to 12 weeks of the child's life. Like it doesn't make sense to me logically. And then I prayed to successfully breastfeed and I did so for 15 months. But I'm not going to thank God for something that He already gave me the tools to do. I thank God for everything I've gone through as far as becoming a mother, but Him helping me breastfeed in a challenging world where it's frowned upon for really no reason, also. Like the amount of women that tried to talk me out of breastfeeding and tried to say my milk was not enough for my child, shame on them because breastfeeding is like a whole different level for me. And to me, not breastfeeding your child is just, it's to me, it's a slap in the face to God. He literally gives you the milk. And I'm like, what are you doing? Now, if you have to go back to work, if for some reason you are in a stressful situation and you just can't breastfeed, like there's obviously variables because we live in a more modernized world. And unfortunately, children are growing up in these broken homes where mom has to do and be everything. And it's stressful to really do all of that in these times. But if your job is even giving you the 6 weeks off, like please try to breastfeed in that time. Like try to stay relaxed, try to put the baby first, try to put your emotions to the side and put the children first. Like breastfeeding is so vital for a child. Like not breastfeeding your child is just, oh my gosh. And I'm not saying you have to do it for a long time. I'm not trying to be that person, but I really want women to start trying to break these stigmas. We should have more time to recover after giving birth, and we should be able to breastfeed. Like all of that should be encouraged. And it should, like, logically, people should understand why that is important. Y'all are like so willing to shoot these kids up with these vaccines. And that's another thing that I will not be doing. I'm not giving my child all these vaccines. And then y'all encourage these kids, not giving them vaccines and not letting them go outside. Those are my other two generational curses that I don't understand. All the keep the kid in the house and limit contact. I'm not saying let your kid be with whoever, whatever, but like I did not hesitate to take my child to her dad's house. She was not no 6 weeks old when I took her out of the house. My child has a healthier immune system than most children. I see kids left and right sick. And the more you limit the environments you expose your children to, and then y'all just giving them vaccines, like, yeah, well, you got a vaccine, so you're good. And then we're also going to limit who touches you and who's around you. Like germs is what develops your immune system. Vaccines typically have the said disease and the cure for the disease or the stuff to build your immunity. Like it's the cure and the disease in one. That's what a vaccine typically is. You're intentionally getting your child sick and then giving them the tools to heal for what? When you could take them around people who are, germs are everywhere. Your body already knows how to do all of this. The whole vaccine and limiting contact with other people, none of that stuff makes sense to me. It really doesn't. Like I'm not even sorry either. It just doesn't make sense. But I will just chill. I'm gonna let y'all, I'm gonna spare y'all today. But where's my other one? Rice and cereal. I'm talking about rice and cereal. Putting cereal in milk. Again, I'm not even trying to go in on y'all for real, but if you're gonna supplement breast milk with an alternative, understand that putting rice in your child's milk introduces them to heavy metals. You're giving your children empty grains and empty calories, really. They're pretty much just eating carbonated sugar, and it's just expanding their stomachs for no reason. And you're wondering why they have colic and then why they always look semi bloated. Like it's just, there's variables to it. It's a weird transition going from breast milk to formula, or even just using formula from the beginning. A lot of that, adding in all that extra to keep them full, it hasn't been proved effective. I really don't care what anybody says. But when I was looking into breastfeeding, I'll go ahead and share with y'all because a lot of y'all talk bad about Summer Walker, but I guess foreign concepts, it's easier for y'all to follow the masses. So I understand, but I'm going to tell y'all, if you don't want to breastfeed your child and you don't really want to use formula, but you do want an alternative, try to make your own milk. Look into making your own hemp milk. You can buy hemp seeds. You can go find a local farmer, someone who owns a farm. They'll give you real raw cow's milk. There's nothing wrong with getting it from someone if you know what they're feeding their animals. The problem is y'all are going through the store, the middleman, and 9 times out of 10, the stuff you buy out of the store is compromised. Just saying. But look into hemp milk. All you really need is water, some dates, and some hemp seeds, and get on YouTube and literally, like, you'll save yourself some time and some money. But there's other alternatives of formula overseas that you can have shipped to the States that have more nutrients compared to what we have sold here. Because I hope y'all believe all that stuff about certain food that we can eat here is banned in other countries. That's very true, and that's for a reason. But I'm gonna move on from that because I can really go all day about the food we choose to consume and buy in this country. Bathing your child at birth. I planned for a home birth and I have another episode about that if you want to watch it. But I ended up having my child in the hospital, but I still did everything naturally. And after I feel like I never told everybody this side of it. After she was born, I told them I was doing skin to skin for an hour. So they immediately passed my baby and everybody left the room. Nobody touched her. That was the quickest hour of my life. I immediately used a nipple technique and latched her onto my breast. She breastfed for maybe like not even 5 minutes and she was knocked out sleep for an hour on my chest. And then the nurse came back and she took her from me and she just was wailing, screaming, crying. But she had to, they have to do all of the physical exam stuff at birth. I told them they could not give her a vitamin K shot. I told her they did something and they just put something on her eyes. I forgot what it was, but there was no meconium because that was why I went to the hospital. All the meconium came out when she came out, but like she did not aspirate any meconium during my labor or delivery. And I did not let them bathe her. I refused. I told them, do not bathe her. I said, y'all can check her, whatever. But that's it. Like all they did was did hearing tests. The doctor came and looked at her to make sure she was healthy. Like nobody did anything to my baby. I don't know what y'all be going through, but nobody coerced me into doing anything. No shots, no bath, no nothing. Give me my baby. She didn't even wear their little hospital stuff. I put her in, I was out of there within a day. I had her at 2 a.m. We stayed that whole day. And then that next morning we left. I was out of there. I don't want to sit up in nobody's hospital. There's nothing they can do for me up in there. But that's another topic for another day. What's another one? These are the last two. So using every name brand suggested. The Desitin cream, trying to use Pampers or Huggies just because you think everybody else uses it. Look into some alternatives. Look into water wipes, cloth diapering. There's more organic, plant-based made diapers and pull-ups that aren't unreasonably priced. You could also try to just get a diaper fund, or ask for gift cards throughout your pregnancy. So you have emergency funds to go get the good diapers that you want to get if you know you're going to buy well-made diapers. You could also buy like a 2 week or 3 week supply of cloth diapers and alternate. So if you're in a rough patch and you can't buy diapers for some reason, keep up with cloth diapering and, just have like some baking soda, vinegar, extra detergent, extra Dawn soap, buy a little cheap stuff that you can use to keep the diapers and stuff clean. Like, buy this stuff ahead of time. So that way, if you're in a rough patch or something's going on, or you don't want to go nowhere, or you're stuck in the house because of a hurricane, you just don't know. Save up the money and invest, or get people to buy you like extra diapers, cloth diapers, extra wash rags. I bought my baby a pink basin and I used to fill it up with like water. I would clean my nipples with it when I was breastfeeding. I would wash her up with it, give her bird baths and stuff like that. Um, you know, the Gerber stuff, Johnson and Johnson, go against the grain. Try to look into other startup small businesses, mom and dad. Some people, or even like Dove, like my friend, she called Dove and just gave them compliments and they sent her some free baby wash. A lot of people go to Target and they say, hey, I'm having a baby, and they go to every Target in their area and get the free baby stuff. People are always giving away free stuff. There's Facebook groups where moms are trying to get rid of stuff or trade or swap. You just never know. So it's like, instead of trying to buy all this name brand stuff and trying to buy all this stuff the kid may not need, try to see what you can get for free. And that way you don't spend all this money on stuff you may not have even wanted. And also make a registry. I was kind of like lazy with that, but I actually got everything that I put on my registry, and I was surprised because some of my stuff is not cheap. But my mom and other people, like, they were really nice about it and bought me what I needed. So I was very blessed. So definitely make a registry if you know you're going to be one of those picky moms and you want to kind of do your own thing, because you'd be surprised what people will just go ahead and buy for you because you already picked it out. And um Baby List is one of those good sites, but who else? What else? Oh, and baby food. I made my child's baby food. And it's very controversial about when moms decide to introduce it. So my child was exclusively breastfed. A lot of exclusively breastfed babies are not fed much baby food, apparently. A lot of moms don't typically introduce food to them as soon. I introduced food to my child at like 3, 4 months. I'm not, food isn't, to me, food is not going to hurt a child. Eventually the child is going to have to eat it. I get there's a lot of sciences and logics about what they can digest and all of that. But like at 3, 4 months, my baby was eating like carrots, applesauce, If I could do it all over, I'd probably like blend up avocado and egg and give it to her. Like honestly, protein matters so much in a developing child. And my family, I let them kind of give her little pieces of poached eggs and stuff and oatmeal. Like my baby ate bits and pieces of everything. Like if she had teeth coming in at like 6 months, my baby was moving quick with a lot of stuff. So I pushed her to her limit. Me personally, my logic as a mom is that children should be pushed to independence as soon as possible. Adults love to complain about kids not being capable of this and that, and they act like they're a hassle, but it's like, you need to push them to independence as soon as you can. Teach them what they don't already know because they are a sponge. They are impressionable, but they need that guidance and they need that visual. Well, as soon as they pick up on it, that's one lesson you have to do. You just have to teach. Like the sooner you teach kids and they get into this world of stuff, it's easy. Like my baby's been feeding herself since she was 10 months. I physically cannot feed her. She doesn't let me unless it's something I'm holding on to and it's for her. But yeah, I think that introducing baby food as soon as the child is like sitting up pretty well on their own, or even if you have like a sit up seat, because even before Melanie was like crawling, she was eating. But what we were doing was, see, I was a CNA, like I keep telling y'all. So I used to feed a lot of older folks. And by law, you have to let them sit up for 30 minutes or longer after they eat so their food can digest. People in wheelchairs, people with limited mobility, stuff like that. So those people still eat. So to me, my child could eat. I just would let her eat. And she had a little chair with toys on it, but it was like an adjustable seat. And I would just, it has you in a sitting position. So it was like one of those Fisher Price seats. I would just sit her in it and she would sit there for like 30, 40 minutes. We would play. I let her, usually she'll fall asleep in it. And yeah, I let her food digest and then I pull her out, breastfeed her, and she's full. Like it honestly made my breastfeeding journey easier to start introducing solid foods. Not solid, but like the purees. Like I would do like apples and it's cheaper. I'm gonna tell you now, it's way cheaper to make their food for them. Like making your own little avocado mixes and carrots. You buy a bag of apples, that makes enough applesauce to last you a month for a child, a baby. Seriously. I used to buy a bag of those Gala apples. I would peel them, boil them, mash them up. Yeah. I had enough applesauce to last me like sometimes over a month because she didn't eat it every day. So it's like, you can go to the store, the farmer's market, get a bag of carrots, some apples, and you've been to spend 20. You can go in there with $20 and pick out some stuff, bananas, mash them, and puree all that for the baby. Get you some little cheap baby containers or put it on your registry. Boom, you got baby food. Keep some lemons if you want some flavor. You can't give babies honey, but like you can get like the alternative sweeteners for them, like, fruits as sweeteners to add into it or whatever, get creative with it. But you can mix that stuff up and that's food on the go. They have reusable pouches. Yeah, just get outside the box. All in all, when it comes to unbreaking these generational curses for these babies, think outside the box. Go against the grain. A lot of older folks in your family, you may not have an argument with them because all they gonna say is, oh, well, it worked for you, or oh, when you were a baby, or this is just what we did. Whatever little rah-rah mess they want to say about why they just copied what everybody else did, that's fine. But they also didn't have the same stuff that we have now. And they'll say, if you talk to them long enough, they'll tell you that. And that should be all you need to know to go against the grain. If they didn't have it and they didn't have the resources and the knowledge and all the stuff that we have, because we have access to way more, use it. We have it for a reason. Stop using this stuff and then wondering why all these kids, they have parallel problems. All of them are similarities. Like, and I'm not saying these kids have big problems, but it's like